Okay. So can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So here we have different data types in C. Total 4 columns are there. The first column is about the data type. Then second says the range. The range means that from how many characters you can store in that particular for this particular data type. Then we have a bytes, means how many bytes it requires in the memory. And the format indicates that which type of format specifier it we use for this particular data type. The very first data type is the signed char. The signed char. So normally we call it a char. Remember we have already used the char, guys, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So right, yes. So signed char are there and unsigned char are there. We will see the difference between the signed and unsigned in consecutive lectures in some other lecture, but right now just focus on the char data type. The range of this data type is -128 to +127 for the signed, and for the unsigned it is 0 to 255. What it is that we will see in the program. What you have to remember, that char occupies 1 byte in the memory, and the format specifier for the char is %c. This we know, right? The %c is a format specifier for the char type. Fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the very first is char. Char occupies 1 byte and %c. That's it. Now the next we have the integer. There are, see, different types of integers are there. You can see int, int, int. So many different types of integers actually. These all are, and all have different range. So we have short signed, short unsigned, signed unsigned we will see later on, then signed integer, then unsigned integer. Normally we use this signed integer, unsigned integer, long signed integer, long unsigned integer, and this 4 means short signed unsigned. This 4 uses the requires 2 bytes, while both the long integer requires 4 bytes. And the format specifier for all the signed integer is %d, and for unsigned it is u. But if it's a long, it's ld and lu. Guys, don't worry. You might be thinking that how will we remember all these things? But when we will do the programs and we will use all these data types and format specifier, gradually you will remember the format specifier and everything. So do not worry about that. Then we have, okay, in the range, we were talking about the range. So the signed integer range is -32,768 to +32,768. The meaning of the range, any range, the meaning of the range of the data type is that this particular data type can store numbers from this range to this range only. This is the meaning of the range. Got it? Understood, everyone?
Yes,
Ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't
Ma'am.
try to remember, don't try to mug up, just watch and just try to understand that, okay, these are the data types, these are the range, these are the bytes, and these are the format specifiers. Yes, someone was saying something.
मैम अगर मैंने कुछ लिया और उसका जो वैल्यू है वो अगर 85 है, फॉर लेट्स सपोज 85 है, तो वो शॉर्ट साइन इंटीजर में होगा या फिर वो साइन इंटीजर में स्टोर होगा?
Which you have taken, it depends on that. By default take this signed. By default we use signed integer normally, because it gives the highest range along with the signed values. So see, the data type you are using, it depends on the requirement of your program, requirement of your problem, requirement of your definition. So depends that what type of data you want to store. Suppose there is some scientific notation kind of thing, then something else you have to use. Suppose you are using the age, in that case something else you need to use. So which type of data type you need to use, that is solely depends on the requirement of your program.
Okay, ma'am.
Right? Okay. The next we have the float. Do you know what is float, guys?
To
The
store any.
number
Decimal
with
values.
decimal point. Yes, the number with the decimal values, and this is the range for that. Do not worry about the range. What you have to remember is it occupies 4 bytes and the %f is the format specifier. The similar way, suppose I want to store the number which does not exist in this range for the float value particularly. In that case, I need to take the double. Okay, fine. In that double, memory will be 8 bytes and the format specifier is LF. Again, suppose the number is even not falling in this range. In that case, I'll go for the long double. It is just the size or the capacity or space of the memory. And this is the range. It takes 10 bytes and the LF is the format specifier for the long double. It is, see guys, it is actually, let's say, let's say
મેં
that
ખાવાનું
here,
આપશો?
please mute your mic.
નહીં આવે, બંધ છે.
Please mute your mic. Let's say here we have memory blocks and the number which I want to store, suppose the number which I want to store, suppose let's say, let's talk about this portion, let's say this float, this. We know that it occupies 4 locations. So let's say that each number, suppose this each block is of a 1 byte. In that case, can I say that all these 4 locations I required? Can I say that to store a single number I require total 4 bytes? Guys, this much of portion I'll need. This much of portion I'll need to store one value. But suppose the number which I want to store requires more memory. In that case, I cannot take float. I have to go for the double. Why? Because double will give me double memory. So it will give me 8. Consecutive, it will have the consecutive locations, guys, this way. So now I have the double space. And so I can store my number easily because I got the more space. So this way, you have to decide the data type, that which type of data you need, which type of data you're going to insert, and based on that, decide your data type. Easy, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
doubt, any query?
Ma'am, this
Yes.
range are only applicable for 16-bit compiler only?
Yeah, but the 32, 64, the same you can use because it might be possible. As I told you,